Hi, I'm stupid. I filmed this whole video without realizing there wasn't any audio. This video is gonna be a tutorial on how to make frameless lenses for your Faceshell files. Uh, we're gonna start with the head. I got this one from Sensational Spidey's Faceshell tutorial. The only alteration I did to it is I put a remesh modifier on it beforehand. Then I copied it and made two files, one for the head and one for the facial I'm gonna make. So this tutorial is just gonna be about the lenses. It's not gonna focus too much on how to make a facial since there is a better tutorial to that. Uh, the one I just mentioned from Sensational Spidey. So yeah, uh, I'm gonna sculpt the face for the facial. Now, when you have your shape done, you should start to make the lenses. You use reference for whatever you're gonna do and just do as the tutorial. Yeah. Use the circle shape and put a shrink wrap on it to stick to the face shell. I'm just wasting time. I like to put it near the face for some reason. Shrink wrap, face shell, and go to town. Do whatever shape you like. Uh, just keep in mind this method might be a little, yeah, much time later after I spent time playing with the thing, making the shape. Yeah, and you're gonna need to make a one for the inner cut too, so it works. You can see through it much time later. When you have all this shit done, the outline, you can start to do the frames and the lenses, put the planes and stuff, use the magnet to face and do it. Don't do that. That's an error. Yeah, just go as if you're following Spidey's tutorial. You're making the lenses, the thing, but yeah, make the outer part, then the inner part. It's gonna be really helpful. Okay, so when you finish that and align all the points to the cutout, you apply the skin wrap and make copies. One for the frames and another for the lenses. This is very important because you need both to be on the same perimeters or they're not going to line up. So yeah, just from this point, just start putting faces on the thing. Or not. I don't know what I'm doing. Wasting time, probably. There we go. But yeah, what I was going to say a bit before is that I don't I don't recommend making the lenses too complex and stuff because it might interfere, might collapse on itself if you add a solidify. Like I tried to make a version of the symbiote Faceshell where he was squinting his eyes, and it turned out awful because it was like at an angle at some point, so it like caved in on itself. So yeah, you just put a mirror modifier to see how it's going. If it looks good, then if it looks good, great. Go to the next step. It's time to do the lenses. Select the lenses and stuff. Look at them, I guess. By the way, this is not by far the best way to do this. This video is just what I found in my research. So if you find a better method, go for it. I'm just trying to like put the information out there to the public. I mean, the method I found for doing this. Because, yeah, for the lenses, you select the inner thing and like delete and V for vertices. So there's no like inner part. That's only for the frames, so you can see through them. Then you connect the lines and stuff, and yeah, looks awful. There's a there's a triangle there. It looks terrible, but that's where the magic begins. You put a shrink wrap just for precaution, so it lines up correctly. Then you put a a subdivision uh, thing, and that's gonna make it leagues better to deal with. Select both parts of the point with shift, and yeah, I'm just stupid. Yeah, select both parts of the point and use shift E to drag it out and make it pointy again. Then you select the outer lines and use shift E. Then when you got that done, I recommend that you save a version of the lens with like lower levels of viewpoint on the subdivision surface so that you have a more simpler save of the lens in this state. But yeah, now you just go to town again, make it line up as best as you can with the outline. Once you got that done, you look at it. If it looks good, then uh, look at it more, I guess. Put a mirror just to make sure it's all good and stuff. Then select the frames and see if they all line up correctly. In mine, there were some parts where it didn't line up with the frames. So yeah, just move them around. For this, it's good to have the magnet on, but some, like in this part, it kind of was annoying. It didn't work well. So just, yeah, see, it's like messing up. Turn off the, if this happens and it's really annoying, just turn off the magnet so it doesn't do that. Once you're done lining everything up, you're, it's way easier from here, I guess. I think. In my opinion, I think it's easier. Just double checking, see if everything is okay. Then, yeah, now it's time to do the frames, work on the frames. Again, this part you can do as normal as if you were doing any normal facial. Put solidify and stuff, put an offset. But for this one, you should make them a little thicker than usual and make the offset go far away so you have a lot of space between the facial and the lens, as you can see there. The reason for this is that once we have the lenses domed, it's gonna be easier to make the frames fit in shape with the extra material. Now you make a save of the frame, get a save from when it was like just a mesh and not solidified, so it's sticking to the face. Yeah, like that. Then just like on the Sensational Spidey tutorial, you make a cutout for the lenses, make it a bit thicker and stuff, so there's room for the fabric. What am I doing? Skin wrap. Facial, just so it doesn't mess up when you enlarge it. Press 2, Shift, Alt Shift, click the outer edge, press S and drag it out. The reason why I told you to have a save of the frames in this, the frames and the lens in this state is but like simpler without all the subdivision surface is because now that you need to make the cutout, it's going to be a pain because you need to like adjust all these points. And if it was lower, there were going to be less points to adjust. So make sure you have a easier save for this purpose. So it's not as annoying to manipulate all the points. So yeah, adjust it, make it pretty, whatever. Just make sure it works. In my case, it works because I'm not gonna sell this. I'm not making a functional face shell. It's just for demonstration purposes. The main focus of the video is the domed frameless lenses I'm making. So if it turns out a bit rough or a bit ugly, I don't really mind. Now that you got the outline for the cutout, you put a solidify modifier on it anytime soon. Yeah, there. Solidify. Put it the same thickness as the lenses, I mean the frames you're gonna use. Mine were at 4 meters for, yeah, just 4. And line them up with the offset on the same, as close as possible with the frames. Put it on see-through so it's easier to do that. Zoom in if you need to. And adjust the offset. There. Close enough. Again, nothing new till here. The fun begins a bit later. Just make sure your frames budge out a bit. Stick out so there's room for the lenses. Yeah, make a save of the facial so you can use Boolean without having to worry about losing everything. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. Another reason to use a save of the facial is because there was something I used there. Something that had a skin wrap and I forgot to apply it. So if you just put it on a save, it's not going to do that. Another thing I did wrong is I deleted the facial before saving the damn Boolean thing. So it got a bit messed up. This is getting way more complicated than it needs to be. Just use Boolean facial shape that you got saved that doesn't have anything colliding with it, like a shrink wrap that you didn't apply or something. There, it worked. Now you don't need the frame cutout anymore, just the frames. And they fit good on the thing. You can put magnets on the frame and stuff if you want. This is not the tutorial for that. I'm just gonna make the basics. What am I doing? Oh, okay. I'm just organizing the things there so I don't get lost. Now, yeah, just remove this piece from the face shell so you can see through it. Just like on the tutorial, get the tool for loop cut, uh, cut and drag to near the edge. Then select the other edge with Alt Shift, hit delete and vertices. Now this mesh part is loose from the geometry. When you got that done, just apply a mirror modifier so both holes are the same way. Bisect X so it understands that you want like both lenses to be detached. Apply, then select the thing A, then P, I think, then loose parts, and it's gonna separate these things are not connected, so you just delete them. I don't have much to add. It's just the shape of the face shell. You know how to do that. I'm not adding a solidifier to the face shell because I'm not going to use this. So now you got the frames done and you can see through the face shell. Okay. I guess I'm admiring my work for some reason. I don't know. Now you can start working on, or not. Cool. Oh, okay. It could. Yeah. You can start working on the lenses. Yeah, another reason I told you to save a version of the subdivision modifier surface thing with a lower view thing is because now you gotta dissolve all these lines that are not the center one. All of them. And not the vertical ones, just the horizontal ones. Then Control X to dissolve. And now this is where the fun begins. You have your lens on the state and now you hit Alt Shift to select the middle horizontal line, then G and drag it out a lot. You can drag it out a whole lot. You don't need to be sparing with this one because we're gonna add subdivision surface again to it and it's gonna eat most of the curve you just did. But yeah, you see how there is this awful like edge jutting out? Yeah, we're gonna use the smooth 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 tool to fix this. You want your smooth tool to be on the lowest strength possible, and preferably a high radius, so it works better. It doesn't like make it look awful there. When you do this, when you just touch, like, yeah, that looks awful still, but with enough time and enough Control Z, you can make everything look cool. There. Zoom in if you need. Work with little parts and stuff. Don't be afraid of zooming out and like doing like a big stroke on this spine. Yeah, for this part, you should like zoom out so it's smoother. See? There we go. Do really fluent motions so it stays consistent. And on the points, you can zoom in to make sure it's not jutting, like protruding out really awfully. This may look awful to do, but it's really simple, honestly. And it doesn't affect the outer part, just this center line, because it's all that you're clicking on and dragging and stuff. The the outer parts are not moving. They're still. Yeah, you can be like really take your time with it, because this was the best way I could find. If you find another way that's better, go for it. But it works for me. It gets like a good result. You'll see. Make the shape as uniform as possible and make sure these points are not looking too weird. Like there. See how it's like making a smooth curve to the point? Yeah, you want that. Again, zooming in too much causes this, which I don't like particularly. It's kind of weird. It's like you're just clicking on one small point and you're dragging it and making a whole mess. So try to work zoomed out as much as possible so it looks more uniform. Once you got a good shape going, you just look, see if it looks good. Once you got that done, select the get out of sculpting, select the lenses and put a subdivision surface modifier on it. And that's gonna make the whole magic happen. See? Put it, I usually put it on 4, but if your computer can handle that, it's okay. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I was explaining something, but as I told you, I forgot to enable audio before recording this. Looks pretty good, if I do say so to myself. Really smooth, really domed. Yeah, once you're done editing the subdivision, just apply it. Mm, yeah, you're almost done when you have all this. Now, what you need to do is make a save of the lens. It's gonna be useful because now for making the lenses, when you print all this out, we're gonna need a vacuum forming mold so you can shape the plastic to the same shape of the lenses and stuff. So for the vacuum forming mold, what you're gonna do is just remove the mirror modifier, hit Tab A, then E, and drag it out, and it's gonna make this thing. I tried to find options to make it so you could like use Boolean on the middle to make it stay flat, so you could like make it a flat surface, but I couldn't find one. I tried a whole bunch of different methods, but it didn't work. But I guess it doesn't really matter because you could just like print this out and leave the supports on when you print it, so it has a flat surface anyways. Just make sure you print it look facing forward, you know. Now that you got the mold done, we're gonna make it so the frames can like, how do I say this? Make it so the lens can fit the frames. Because right now the frames are flat, really flat, and you need them to be curved on the same way the lens is, so it fits perfectly. So what you're gonna do is put a solidify modifier on a save of the lenses, a copy, and put the offset completely to the max. So there's no way a you're getting some parts missing and stuff, and use Boolean on the frames using this like thing. There. Apply Boolean, select the lens curve is what I titled it. This blob mass, whatever it is. And now the frames are ready to accept the lenses. Once you print them out and stuff, form them to the shape, you can just put them on and they're gonna fit because it's the exact same shape as the lenses. And that's pretty much it. That's the method I found. If you find something better or improve upon this, make sure to do a video on it or at least like publish it so this information can be passed on to the community. Because like I only got on this hobby because of Sensational Spidey's Faceshell tutorial. So like, yeah, that's the final result and stuff. Looks good in my opinion. It works. Uh, most people when they do like domed frameless lenses, they like use just magnets on the frames, but I don't think that's really appealing or that good. So having a version where the frames are the lenses and stuff and they don't show, it's really good for aesthetics and putting better magnets and stuff. Thank you for watching. Yeah.